When you do YouTube because you love to make certain kinds of content, not because of the views, not because of the money. Do it because you love to do it, no other reason.
Walk into a smoke-filled room, a little black dress and mama shoes. Easy me to be so.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Third Time's the Charm. You can't see it. This kid can bring you guys everything gaming. So I stumbled upon an article, 20 weird facts about Pokemon. If you don't remember, Pokemon was originally launched back in 1996, and many of us have been introduced to it. I remember being introduced to Pokemon. I think I was, 6 or 7, and the first wave of Pokemon. I even remember having the poster I got from Burger King. But we had a poster with all, the first 50 Pokemon. And it was the coolest thing ever. I wish we had kept it because I would be framing that thing up. That would be one of the coolest posters to have still. Let me spew some facts for you guys before we get into the countdown. Now, since the 1996 introduction of Pokemon, there have been 6 generations of the creatures released, with the newly announced Pokemon Sun and Moon set to be part of the number 7. 7 generations. That's ridiculous. Now, there have also been 6 anime series, 25 manga series, and 18 full-length films released for the franchise. That's insane. Do you guys remember one of the first Pokemon movies came out? I do. Do you remember Mew and Mewtwo and all that stuff? Seeing one of the first Pokemon movies in theaters was epic. Oh, who remembers getting those gold-plated card things as well? That was cool. I think for one of my birthdays, my 13th birthday, my mom got me this Pokeball that had this random Pokemon. I know what it looks like. I can't remember the name. But I remember getting this, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was like a Pokeball keychain. Now, with the most recent additions to the Pokédex, the total number of catchable monsters has gone up to 722. Number 1 on our countdown, Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever created. Many of us probably think, hey, Pikachu, one of the first ones, but the very first Pokemon was Rhydon. Despite Rhydon's early creation, Rhydon is placed at 112th in the Pokédex. I'm assuming that means most overall best Pokemon. So even though it's the first one ever created, it's not necessarily in the top 10 best Pokemon of all time. Number 2, Professor Oak's Nidorino has the cry of a Nidorina. Nidorino is one of the very first Pokemon that a new player ever saw when beginning their Pokemon adventures. During the introduction to the much-loved Pokemon Red Blue, the Pokemon Professor shows off his very own creature, a Nidorino. However, this Pokemon doesn't quite give off the right call, instead giving the cry of a female Nidorina. Number 3, Azurill can change gender while evolving. That's kind of weird. Okay, so due to Azurill's gender ratio, meaning that 75% of the creatures are female, but its evolution marrow, containing the regular 50-50 chance when assigning gender, there's actually a 1 in 3 chance that your Azurill will become male when it evolves. Now, some fans have debated whether this is a reference to some amphibians being able to change their gender, but whether that's true or not, this unique event will only happen prior to Generation 6. Suggesting that it may have been unintentional. Number 4, Slowbro. That's one of the coolest. I don't care if you like the Pokemon or not. That's one of the coolest names. Slowbro, what up? Slowbro is the only Pokemon that can devolve. What? Why would you want to devolve? Yeah, I'm kind of bored up here on this high level. Let me de-rank myself. Devolve. Now, according to the sometimes less than reliable Pokédex entries, Slowbro is unique in its ability to return to its previous evolution, Slowpoke. The creature initially evolves when a Shelder latches onto Slowpoke's tail. That's just weird too. And it seems like the process is reversed if the shell Pokemon ever lets go. Which that kind of makes sense. That's kind of cool, I think. Number 5, Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee got their names from famous fighters. At this point, most Pokemon fans, including myself, probably know that these 2 fighting types were named after Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. So you have Hitmonlee, Bruce Lee, and then Hitmonchan, Jackie Chan. Now, even though they're named after famous fighters, this is also true for their Japanese names. Hitmonchan's alternate name, Ebiwalar, is a reference to Japanese world champion boxer Hiroyuki Ebihara. while Hitmonlee's name Sawamular is derived from the world's first kickboxer, Tadashi Sawamular. So it's kind of cool. It's like a 2-for-1. Number 6. Meowth and Pikachu are opposite Pokemon. In the Pokemon anime series, Pikachu and Meowth are on opposite sides, with the latter belonging to the notorious Team Rocket. However, the opposite theme runs deeper than this alone. Pikachu is number 25 in the Pokedex, whereas Meowth is the reverse number 52. There's also the more obvious association of the two being a cat and a mouse. I didn't know Pikachu was a mouse. If that's correct, because obviously Meowth has to be a cat. That's kind of weird. Number 7, Magneton weighs a lot more than 3 Magnemites. When Magnemite evolves, it joins with 2 more of its kind to form Magneton. Logically, as a Pokemon initially has a weight of 13.2 pounds, the evolution should surely weigh about 3 times as much. In fact, Magneton weighs over 10 times the weight of a single Magnemite, stacking up to a whopping 132.3 pounds. Wow. Pokemon logic right there, baby. Number 8, the move Splash is a mistranslation of the Japanese word for hop. Splash is a useless Pokemon move that performs almost no action whatsoever and can be learned by very few creatures. The most obvious of which being Magikarp. I do remember Magikarp. However, despite its name, the move is actually a normal type rather than a water type move, and can be learned by Pokemon such as Hop, Spoink, and Buniri. This is because the Japanese version of the word was mistranslated and should in fact be called Hop. Number 9. Pikachu can talk and learn Surf in Pokemon Stadium. Fans of the N64 game Pokemon Stadium that also owned a copy of Pokemon Yellow were able to transfer over the game's signature monster from their Game Boy Colors in order to have a Pikachu capable of learning Surf in-game. The Pikachu would also speak with the same Japanese voice actor that still voices Ash's companion in the anime to this day, Iku Otani. Once Pikachu has learned Surf, gamers can play a Surfing Pikachu minigame back in Pokemon Yellow. Number 10, Arcanine was intended to be a legendary Pokemon. The Fire Dog Pokemon Arcanine was originally going to be a legendary creature alongside the trio of Articuno, Zapdos, I remember that one, and Moltres. In fact, the Pokemon anime's second episode, Pokemon Emergency, Ash sees an engraving of an Arcanine along with the birds on a stone tablet. The creature's category is also named Legendary Pokemon, despite it being able to be obtained by regular means. So it's kind of cool in a way. It's almost a legendary Pokemon that you can get just by getting it regularly. Yeah, makes sense. Number 11. Oh gosh, I remember Tangela. Tangela originally couldn't use Vine Whip. When Tangela was first introduced in episode 26 of the anime, Ash's Pokedex provided the following information. Tangela, a vine Pokemon. Its body is wrapped in vines. Wow. Very descriptive, Pokedex. Very descriptive. The rest of its form is hidden beneath these vines. Obvious Pokedex is obvious. Somehow, despite this, the grass type could not use the move Vine Whip in Pokemon Red and Blue. In modern games, Nintendo have corrected this oversight, and Tangela now learns Vine Whip at level 7. Number 12, Coughing and Wheezing were going to be named after American cities. In the Pokemon Red and Blue beta... What? There was a Red and Blue beta? The names initially laid out for the two were Nye and La, so for New York and then Los Angeles. I still think Coughing and Wheezing is kind of cool, and I like how they spelled coughing. Number 13, Mewtwo comes before Mew in the Pokédex. Yeah, guys, we definitely know how to count in this Pokédex. Mew was so cute, though. Mew. Like a little flying kitty cat. And then Mewtwo's like, not today. Fan favorite Pokemon, Mewtwo has taken on many forms, but the creature itself is a clone of the secret 151st Pokemon Mew. The creature was a secret that even Nintendo was not initially aware of, programmed by Shigeki Morimoto 2 weeks before the original game's finished development. Now, although Mewtwo was created by cloning Mew, the clone actually comes before it in the Pokédex. Mew has only ever been available in events such as Nintendo's current mythical Pokemon distribution. That was my phone. Number 14, Ditto. Oh, I remember Ditto. Is most likely a failed attempt at cloning Mew. It's so plain but still so ugly. It's funny. It's like that silly putty or that squishy fart goo that you get at the store. You just like, what? There's no better use to it than to just make fart noises. Like, the logic behind the theory comes from the two creatures sharing the same base stats and weight, as well as using a similar color palette both in shiny and non-shiny forms. The two Pokemon both have access to transform at level 1 and are the only two creatures to learn the move naturally. Ditto can also be found, at least in the first generation games, in the Pokemon Mansion where Mewtwo was successfully cloned. Or in, is it Cerulean Cave, where the clone can be fought and captured. Number 15, Clefairy. Clefairy was almost the face of Pokemon. I'm so happy that it wasn't. Clefairy. The fairy Pokemon Clefairy was originally set to be Ash's starter Pokemon. Oh my gosh, that's kind of scary. Due to a last-minute change, Pikachu got the role instead because of the creature's popularity. This would have made Clefairy the most recognizable Pokemon in existence. While this would have made the anime closer to the Pocket Monsters manga, Nintendo made the right choice teaming Ash with Pikachu, and I agree. After all, Detective Clefairy just wouldn't have the same ring to it. Number 16, each Spinda, or is it Spinda, has a unique pattern of spots. That's kind of cool. Wow. There are so many variations. Apparently, there are actually about 4.2 billion different variations, not including shinies. Number 17, fishing is impossible in Pokemon Red and Blue's gym. So, you've all seen the Rhydon statues that sit just inside the first generation gyms. Well, what you might not know is that you can fish for Pokemon inside them. In Pokemon Red and Blue, using an old rod on any Rhydon statue will cause the player to encounter a Magikarp. In the Curl City Gym, you can use any of your fishing rods as well as fish for Pokemon in the gym's water area. Number 18, psychic type weaknesses are based on common fears. That is really cool. Not weird, freaking cool. This one is more of a fan theory than a true fact. Come on, it's gotta be fact. Make it fact. But it's certainly plausible. Although psychic types were hugely overpowered in the first generation of Pokemon, they do in fact have weaknesses in the form of ghost, dark, and bug types. These types are all representative of common fears, though if it's the case, I'm not sure many people that suffer from pyrophobia or aquaphobia may argue the case that psychic should be weak to fire and water types too. Oh gosh, here we go. Number 19. Wobbuffet's main body is a decoy. Oh. Because you see, I don't know if you ever saw Wobbuffet, but its tail has like 2 eyes on it. I just see that. Why did I never notice that? It's a decoy. Wobbuffet's Pokédex entries seem to suggest that there's more to the blue punching bag than meets the eye. Many of the entries appear to imply that the Pokemon's main body is simply an inflatable decoy. And while we see the creature speak in the anime series, the real body is a small black tail with eyes that hides behind it. Because of this, Wobbuffet cannot actually attack other than by using struggle. But instead counters opponents' attacks by bouncing back at them in true punching bag style. So it's like pretty much a purely defensive Pokemon. Number 20, Smeargle looks like Snoopy. I've never even seen this one before. Cannot use TMs, but can use almost every move in the games. So this one's gonna be a little bit new to me. The painter Pokemon Smeargle has not been able to make use of any technical machines to learn moves since its introduction in Generation 2. So this one's actually an older Pokemon, but I don't ever remember seeing this one. It can, however, utilize almost every known move, including signature moves, by using Sketch to copy the last attack used by an opponent. That's pretty sweet. There are exceptions to the rule, though. Smeargle cannot use Sketch to copy Chatter or Struggle, and not only can Smeargle keep the copy move forever, the creature can also pass it down to other Pokemon via breeding when it's within its egg group. That's kind of weird, though, but cool. That's it for the list. Now, we can all agree as a franchise, Pokemon continues to impress and amaze all the fans. Having older titles that still hold up today is part of the reason why Pokemon has managed to sell 200 million copies. Good gosh. And that's just of its main series alone. That's without taking into account the success of the spin-off titles such as last month's Pokken Tournament and the upcoming Pokemon Go. So a lot of these I actually didn't know or forgot. How many of these 20 facts did you already know? And are there any others that you can think of? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what you thought was weird, what wasn't weird, or just plain out cool. And until next time, guys, I'm Third Time's a Charm. You can't see it, but this kitty cat. Bringing you guys everything gaming. Meow meow. Pokemon.
Could you be that girl I knew?